Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my second trimester update. My name is Kirsty. I am currently pregnant with my first baby and I am taking whoever wants to come along with me. So it's been a while since I last uploaded and I'm really trying to get better at it, but to my moms to be, and just women in general juggling a million things, it's so difficult, but I'm really trying to keep up with it, mostly like so I can look back and have these memories, but for whoever is joining along with me to you know, not miss a step. So I am in my third trimester, but I did want to update on the second trimester because I did a first trimester update and I have OCD, so I need things to kind of like go in order. So we're going to talk about my second trimester. Fun things. I will be showing you guys the 15 tests that I ended up taking in the first trimester. And I will also be sharing the gender of the baby. So that will be towards the end. So if you want to skip ahead, you can skip ahead, but you could just stay along and just watch. Okay, so second trimester recap. What did I want to start with? So first, let me show you guys the baggie of tests. So these are the pregnancy tests that I took in the first trimester. I know it doesn't look like 15, but you can see here that I have the cheapy ones, and that's really what brought it to the 15 mark. I have clear blue, I have first response, I have a digital that no longer says pregnant. But I'm not going to keep these forever. I'm going to see whichever one looks the best, and I'm going to make a little like keepsake box for myself and for the baby. So there it is. It was not an exaggeration, and I feel like these are things that I'm hearing a little bit more common of women, just like, especially like people who have like infertility issues and things like that, just like constantly testing to see like, one, am I really pregnant? 2, am I still pregnant? And 3, is the HCG projecting the way that it should? So I'm not embarrassed to share that I did take that many tests. And it's fine. But I did stop taking them. I actually had one last one that I ended up giving to somebody else who needed it. But like this was a few weeks ago and I was debating on taking it. Not because I need any more reassurance, but because I was kind of like, oh, like maybe I can, like, this one could be like a cute one, I don't know, to like store, like they're not really cute like after they get like old, so I thought like, I don't know. Anyway, but we're no longer taking pregnancy tests. It's not needed now. Everything's a-okay. So let's jump into the second trimester. So the first thing that happened for me was I started getting super sleepy, which I know a lot of people feel that in the first trimester, but for me, I don't know if it was the excitement or the anxiety. I was actually up every day at like 5 in the morning. Like I felt like I had all this energy and I just felt like I could not sleep because I started feeling like, I don't know, like so many thoughts were running through my brain. So sleep was not it for me the first trimester, but by the second trimester and even into right now, sleep is my friend. I love to sleep. I go to bed pretty early. I'm obviously not getting as much sleep with the frequent bathroom trips, but I will say if anybody knows me, they know I'd rather be up like getting stuff done, and now I'm kind of like, I can do it tomorrow. I'd rather sleep. So, which I think is kind of helping me look pretty like well put together. So sleepy was the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed in the second trimester was I started kind of showing. And I put the air quotes because anybody who has been pregnant before me, or if you're further along, you know that you will reach a point where you thought you were showing and then like now I am showing. Like there is no way you can mistake this for a burrito or a big lunch or whatever. And I used to be like, oh my God, like I'm showing, like, you know, my bump's getting big. I actually used to call it a lump because I kind of figured it would get bigger. and now I feel like it is a bump. And even though we still have a little way to go until baby is here, I am sitting here and I'm like, I'm gonna have a bump. Because if it's gonna continue to grow, which I don't know, maybe I've maxed out, I don't know, but we'll see. But it was exciting to start showing, just because you know that in the beginning it feels kind of weird because you feel pregnant, you feel bloated, but it doesn't, excuse me, it doesn't quite look like you're pregnant yet. So it's such like a weird, awkward stage where the second trimester starts to feel a little bit better, because you're like, oh, I'm showing. So like when people do look, or if I do bring it up and I say I'm pregnant, I can back it up with the bump. The next thing was I started having this like gag reflux, or I don't even know the term. My brain is mush now. But yeah, it was just weird. Like if I cough too hard or anything, it just like, and there were some moments where I did kind of puke, but I don't really want to say that because it was like a little bit, it kind of like just shot out like mid gag. And I haven't really had any like vomiting. I've been nauseous and I've had like sickness, but never like vomit. For me, it's like, I can't, like, if I puke, it's because I cannot control it, but if I can, I will try to avoid it. So the gagging thing isn't that nice, but I guess it's better than like hugging the toilet. You know, I do hear and know people who were like, oh my god, I was so sick, I was like glued to the toilet. So I'm grateful that I'm not doing that, but the gagging really doesn't feel that nice. So the other thing that happened in the second trimester, which I think was very exciting, was I finally got to feel the baby move. So I have an anterior placenta, and if you don't know what that means my placenta is here at the front. So I mean, it's good because it's extra protection for the baby from anything that's like gonna like hit my bump, but it does make it harder to feel the baby early on. When I first started feeling the baby, it felt like little zaps. Not really, I know a lot of people say it feels like butterflies, things like that. I didn't feel butterflies, and I don't know if it's because, you know, I am working, so I'm constantly moving, and then I would come home and I'm trying to like get things done, get the house together and prepared for baby. I just never felt the butterflies, but sometimes at night around my belly button I would feel like zaps, and I kept telling my husband, and I'm like, babe, like I think like this is the baby, but I'm not sure because everybody kept talking about these butterflies. And then eventually the little zaps started turning into little kicks, and that's when I kind of figured, because it was kind of like around the same time, I was like, those zaps were definitely baby. And it just is a great feeling. It really is. Obviously it's different now because the baby is bigger, so they are stronger. But what I will say is, I don't know, like, even though sometimes like when the baby does kick me, it's like, ooh, you know, or like if it's at a certain area where it kind of like hurts a little bit, I'm just so grateful to feel that. But because with this placenta, it took a while to feel anything, and it just gives you that reassurance that your baby is in there, is okay, and, you know, doing the things that babies should be doing in the womb. It was really difficult, and then, you know, everybody's like, oh, and not that anybody was being insensitive, but it was kind of like, oh, did you feel the baby? Have you felt the baby yet? Da, 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 da. So you're thinking like, should I have felt the baby sooner? You know, is something up with my baby? And all those intrusive thoughts come into your brain. So I will say each person is at their own time, and trust and believe. No need to rush, because once your baby gets bigger, they get a little rough and tough. So that was one of the most exciting things, other than starting to show in the second trimester. And then what else happened? Oh, okay. this is something that I really wanted to talk about. I don't, see, like my brain, like thank God I write stuff down. Okay, anyway, so in the second trimester, I really started to notice body changes. So this is gonna be a little TMI. If you don't want to hear it or you don't like that stuff, you can go ahead and skip forward. But man, oh man, does your body change. So I will say, of course, the number one typical thing is the boobs. My boobs are not necessarily bigger, but the areola is a little bit larger, super dark, as well as the nipples. The armpits, dark. I have the linea negra, super dark. And also I will say now I'm starting to notice, I don't think you guys will be able to see it, but my neck over here is starting to get darker. And that's a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to sound like vain or whatever, but even though it's a beautiful thing to be pregnant, it is still a hard thing because your body is changing and you're not really feeling like yourself 100%, because you're not. You're sharing your body with another human. But it just gets a little discouraging. Also for me, the first trimester, my skin was really great. And then right at the beginning of the second trimester, it just started all the hormonal acne over here. I will say it was not as severe as I've seen on other women, so I am grateful for that, but it is still a little bit of a trip. Like, I don't think that just because what you're feeling isn't as severe as the next person means it diminishes how you feel. And honestly, it has been getting better. I've noticed in the past couple of weeks I do have more like dark spots too, because obviously I've never really been one to like pick my face or pop my pimples, but it was something that happened so like overnight, and I was like, ugh, that I did kind of, you know, get a little pop happy. But now at this point, I either just put on a pimple patch or ride it out or leave it what it is, because it could definitely be worse. So I'm just not going to complain. And that's a big reason why for the first video, this video, and probably future videos, I'm not really going to stress putting makeup on my face. I want to be like realistic. If you guys want to see up close or maybe a more in-depth video, I will definitely do that. I don't want to project that it's all rainbows and butterflies, because if you've been pregnant, if you are pregnant, you know that it's not, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you love your baby any less. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful to be pregnant. It just means you're going through some changes. And I think for me, as a first time mama to be, it's just me trying to adjust. But honestly, it hasn't really been that big of a deal. The dark armpits are killing me now that the weather's like getting nicer. But like, it is what it is. And also too, I don't know if this is the prenatals or just me or pregnancy in general, but I literally feel like I get hairy super quick, and I'm reaching a point where shaving my legs is just not the funnest part of my day. And now that the weather's getting nice, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay out on it and like, you know, like shave every week so the hair doesn't get too long. But if I let that thing get too long, I'm telling you, it is a mission. And I'm really doing from the knees down. I'm not even trying to go up the thighs. So everything's going to be knee length for me. Anything shorter, it's not going to happen. I can't. I physically and truthfully don't have the energy for it. So body image and body changes were a big thing for me in the second trimester. And now I'm just rolling with the punches. And it is what it is. Ultimately, I am creating a human, and this is the best time of my life. So I'm just trying to stay positive, but I do have those days where I'm like, you're looking ugly. You're looking busted. But I am feeling good these past few days because I went and did my hair and mani and pedi, and yesterday I wore some makeup, which was nice. So you find those little things to kind of help you get through. But I mean, your body does change, and not just because of your belly, everything changes. And the last thing that started in the second trimester was swollen feet and sometimes swollen fingers. The swollen fingers is a little bit less. The swollen feet and swollen ankles is just, it is what it is. You know, I didn't know if it was the intake of salt. I didn't know if it was preeclampsia. I didn't know all these other things. It's not preeclampsia. I have not tested positive for it, if that's the proper terminology. I'm healthy as a horse, as they say. It's just, you know, maybe when I'm on my feet too much. I've noticed bar stools are not my friend. I think sitting that high up just like draws everything to my feet. But I will say that I just try to drink my water. I've really been adamant about elevating my feet and not being on my feet if I don't have to be. And shout out to my mom, because she has been amazing. She literally soaks my feet in Epsom salt water with lavender. She said she would do it for me every night. I don't want to be a spoiled brat, so I do it every other night. And shout out to my hubby, because he rubs my feet, lotions my feet at night. He does that mostly every night, and I think that just like helps. So it's really nice when my ankles are back to normal. It is kind of a trip when they're swollen and fat, but it is what it is. And it's okay. The finger thing is, it depends. So right now I just wear my wedding band. It's really hard to double up with my engagement ring, and even sometimes I can't even wear my wedding band, but when I get the opportunity to, I do like to put it on. It's actually nicer because it's so small and thin. But when I reach the point that I can't put it on, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I am doing good. I am feeling good. We are getting closer to meeting baby, which is so crazy. I gotta know, and you guys tell me, I feel like it was like the beginning felt so long, and now it's just like moving so rapidly that I'm like, ugh, like I don't want to miss any like special moments. So yeah, so I am going to end the video here, and then I'm gonna add the little snippet of when we found out the gender of the baby. So if you have any guesses, leave it down before the clip, or just let me know if you kind of had a feeling of what I was having, depending on how I told you guys how I was feeling. That was my second trimester wrapped up in a little bunch. I'm gonna end the video here, and then you guys are gonna get to see what baby Medina is. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you're not missing a beat on this journey. Even though I'm posting very sporadically, I am still sticking with the timeline. I'm not leaving anything out. So if you want to stick around, that would be awesome. And that's really it. Leave any and anything you want down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. 9, 8.